Hello and welcome to This Day. I'm BJ Arnett, your host. It's a pleasure to speak with people every day that have something on their heart that they want to share. And usually, it's something that hits someone out there, if not me first. The guest that I have with me today is a lady whose story really hit my heart because I'm a mom and I'm a grandma. And our children and our children's children are really important to me. The journey, however, can be filled with ups, downs, little hills, big mountains, and a few lakes, if you know what I mean. Welcome to our table today, Patti Reed. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, BJ, for having me.
You know, the reason this book intrigued me was because it hits home with us as parents and even as grandparents.
Yes.
But further, when I met you at NRB, there was something about you that my husband said, you got to meet her. And then I saw this bright smile and this energy, and I thought, yeah, I do have to meet her, because it's always great to meet women and men, of course, who are about the energy, the love, the joy of living out life the way God intended to its fullest. And I know you have a story before we ever even get to the book of Face to Face. But what is your story? What makes you Patti Reed?
Okay, well, that would take too long. But, well, first I'm going to say that really the love of my husband and the love of Jesus really has made me into the person of who I am today. And my children obviously have contributed to that, and were really the reason behind the book of just the struggles that we have gone through in our own parenting, that you know, God gave me answers, and I wanted to pass those on. So.
You know, it's funny that you say that the struggles, you know, we all have had them. Some of us like to say, oh, it wasn't that bad. Well, it was bad when we were in it.
Yeah, it was.
You know, but as we look back on it, it doesn't seem quite as painful because we're not in it. But after, I know you and your husband have been married 30 years.
Yes.
And both of you have had a vast industry background in terms of advertising and radio.
Yes.
Talk to us about what it was like at the beginning. Here's a fresh couple, they're married. Some 30 years ago, things were really different 30 years ago.
Yes, they were. And we actually were in New Jersey at the time. That's where we met, that's where we dated, and then God called my husband to the radio station in Dallas. So we basically got married in October '91 and went on our honeymoon to Hawaii, came back, packed our bags, and moved to Texas.
Wow.
So that was quite an adventure and hard, but good.
But did you have a cushion behind you? Like, did you have family in Texas? Did you have a support system already there?
No. No.
So you're newly married.
Yes.
So first, you know, for those of you who have never been married, when you get married, you have to learn each other.
Yes.
Where does he like his toothpaste? You know, where do you put this? Where do you put that? How do you even move together in a household? And how do you develop a household? But when you have a support system that's already in place, that kind of helps you, but you didn't have that.
We did not have that, and we really walked it out by faith. We felt very sure that the Lord wanted us to move to Texas, and honestly, it was the best decision of our life.
So when you came together at the very beginning, immediately he gets the call to radio, but you weren't called immediately into becoming an author.
Oh gosh.
You had another area of career.
Yes, the Lord has used several things in my life to, you know, make me who I am today. And so I really had a retail background. I actually went to Fashion Institute of Technology in New York City.
Get out of town.
Yes, and I meant to tell you that. Yes, yes.
Awesome.
And I was studying to be buying, you know, for buying and merchandising. And then I was like, yeah, not sure about that. And anyway, kind of fast forward a few years, met Frank, and was doing a little bit of retail, and then moved down here, and then got into an advertising business, selling advertising, and then had the opportunity to take that business over and run that business, which I'm very much a leader at heart, and I love to really lead people and develop people into all God sees them to be.
That means that you have to put yourself aside in order to really delve into helping someone else.
Yes.
That is a different way of looking at advertising.
Yes, yes. And so that was really a fabulous business. I had it for 18 years. I also homeschooled my children at the time.
Wow.
But I had amazing people that worked for me. So I was able to do that because really being with my children and impacting their lives spiritually, intellectually, emotionally was really the most important thing to me. So.
As you look back on those early years with your children, you're a working mom, and you had the right support system at work.
Yes.
But it's still 9 to 5 and 9 to whatever as a mom and as a wife.
Yeah.
How did you juggle all of that?
You know what? Again, great support systems. You know, being an entrepreneur and having your own business and having people you can, you know, depend on, including, you know, my husband's hours. He worked in the morning, and so he could come home and I could pass them off.
Right. He could father his babies
yes.
while you were doing the other parts of the business.
I mean, we just worked it out. You know, they went down for naps, I went to work. So we just figured it out. We just
as you went.
Yeah.
And then you move fast forward way to this place where you're seeing graduating from elementary school, graduating from middle school, graduating from high school. Oh my God, it's time for you to walk out as a young adult and go to college. There's a shift, I don't know about you, but I kind of think I do. That when it was the year of senior year, I remember thinking, that's not a baby. I can't say, oh, this is my baby. I can't say that because I'm really damaging his growth. I'm damaging their growth by not seeing them for who they are right now.
Yes, yes.
Speak to that.
Yeah, so I would say that I really wrote this for the old, you know, parents of older teens and young adults, because when you get into 16, you know, 15, 16, 17, you're starting to transfer some of that, I don't want to say authority, but they need to start making decisions.
Right.
And so, and we need to give them the opportunity to make those decisions. And we cannot be telling, yelling, and selling anymore.
Ooh, say that again. We cannot be telling, selling, and yelling
anymore, which I did my share of that.
Yeah, we all do.
And we really need to, you know, allow them so they can practice their decision making, and then we can mentor them through whatever that decision is. And that doesn't always happen with parents. It's more, you know, it seems to me anyway that you're on this path and this is the path that you will go, and to think of anything besides that might be crazy. But I really want to help parents kind of open up to, you know, what are their dreams? What are their hopes? What are their desires? And I just don't know if those questions are asked.
Not only are those questions possibly not asked, but because I think sometimes with right heart, parents are saying, I know what I went through. At 15, I did this. At 16, I know these mistakes. I know these pitfalls. And then we want to put that on that child. That's not their journey.
Okay, I so get that, and my children have told me, you know, Mom, you were raised differently than the way that we were raised. And I was just saying to my husband the other day that, you know, our kids are emerging later. The adult children are definitely emerging later in life and figuring things out. I have a daughter who lives in New York City. She's 22 years old. She's pretty much independent, but it's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really hard. And so, but because that's how we were raised, we were like, you know, you go to college and then you're out on your own. They kind of need a little more help, but you kind of have to know, you have to learn that dance.
You have to learn the dance of how much to move as the lead of the dance and when to fall back and not be the lead of the dance. And I think that's a really cool analogy. At no point do I lead my husband in a dance. At no point. Okay?
Just, I try.
Yeah. Every time I do, he goes, okay, so are you leading this dance? And I go, oh, no. So, but with our children, it is this dance of, I'm going to show you how to do this. Put your feet on top of my feet, and you'll see the movement.
However, as young adults, I think we have to ask for permission.
Oh, You mean I got to ask my child?
You do have to ask permission.
For real.
And that's really like new.
It is new, because again, we weren't raised that way. My mom and dad didn't ask me anything.
Yeah.
It was about, you're going to do
Tell
this.
so and yell.
Yes. And we got a lot of yell from my mom. My dad would just kind of look at us, and we knew, don't go there.
Yeah.
But in today's movement, in today's society, young people need a different
narrative, so to speak. Yeah, and I think that asking for, hey, can I share this with you? Would you like to know how to do this? And you have to be prepared for no.
I think that works because in our situation today, if we are raising our children according to biblical principle and what God has said, we've already laid the foundation of training up a child in the way that it should go, and when they're old, they'll not depart. We've laid that foundation. Here's the thing that I think a lot of us get into. We're waiting for the get old. You know, we're waiting for the maturity to set in. And we don't want them to go through anything that we went through. We don't want to be in pain. However, with your book, Face to Face, you get to have those important conversations. You get to ask permission without saying, I'm in the back of your head, I'm asking for permission, right?
Yeah.
So when you take a look at this journey, because it is a journey, what would you say has been the most important thing that you've learned?
I would say I'm very passionate about developing their voice. And again, my son is 26 and my daughter's 22, and I did better with my daughter because, you know, you're older and wiser, and my son knows that. I've repented. But really hearing them. And I guess I've seen parents not hear their children, and then I saw the consequences from that and the result of that. And so it doesn't mean that we agree or that I'm going to compromise my convictions or anything like that, but they need to be heard. They need to know that they have been heard. And John Maxwell will say, being heard is like being loved. Just being able to know that you're in a secure place with your parents, to be able to say, this is how I feel, this is what I need to say, and to know that they won't be rejected. Yes, that is exactly right. And you know, some of the stuff, I don't know about you, but you're like, oh, okay. I don't know if I ever want to know, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that was I remember going to my husband with one of our children, and I had seen something on Instagram. Oh gosh, yes. Why go to Instagram, parents? Why? And I'd seen something on Instagram, and I thought, I'm just gonna, and I could hear my husband's voice. Remember when you were 20? Yes. And I thought, I don't want to remember that. But it was a good thing for him to say. And thank God we didn't have Instagram. Exactly. Oh, yeah. And because that's the only difference. Isn't that something? That's the only difference. Now everything is available to be seen. None of the things that our kids go through today as young adults happen to be new. The new part is that everybody can see it. That's right. That's right. I know. But, you know, there's so much to unpack here. So, you know, I got to have you stay with me so that we can talk again, because there are parents out there who are saying, no, they've got to do it this way. They've got to understand, and I'm going to keep them from making a mistake because I'm the one that holds the keys to all this wisdom. Oh, ouch. Yeah, no, not a good idea. Don't do that. Okay, so they don't know to get out? No. Okay. No. So, folks, you heard it. She says, no. I love the fact that we've been able to really open this up, but we're going to open it up even further. So you just hang tight. This is BJ Arnett, and you know we'll be back with some more great information for you so you can handle and help your children.